Yo guys, welcome back to the Phoenix channel where we just share everything from sports, study, education. It's like an encyclopedia on the YouTube. Today we are going to watch an amazing match between the Pragnananda and Magnus Carlsen in the Norway chess tournament. Here the Indian prodigy Pragnananda took on Magnus and destroyed him in the game. It's a very great news for all the Indians who is watching this episode. So stay tuned and how exactly Pragnananda dominated the game. Let's go. So the game starts with classical opening e5 and Magnus responded with the Sicilian opening which means e4, c4, c5, e4, c5. Alright. The knight goes to here to take basically the control of the center and so on if the pawns were pushed. So Magnus this time uses this variation. Alright, this is the variation Magnus has been playing these days. And Pragnananda plays the best move which Indians have suggested, that is d4. Now Magnus takes from c5 to d4 and then knight takes to d4. Till now, Pragnananda was having a 0 point lead and which is not really a good lead, but he is having a good position at this point. So the Magnus is avoiding the knight going from here and rather than it keeping a check to the king because it has a help from the queen. So Magnus has done that. Now Pragnananda takes his bishop out, alright. So Magnus plays the move here. And the reason why Magnus plays here, now when you look at the Magnus structure at this point, you can find out that Magnus is underdeveloped. When you just look at his position at this moment, you see that Magnus is not completely developed. Look at this, there are no other pieces which are really actively developed. Pragnananda has one bishop which is the really protecting and a very nice square. There's a knight which has been developed and knight can't go either off here or here, but it's controlling the dark squares or light squares, let us say, and it's doing its good job. Alright, so at this point, let's go. Pragnananda catches, and already you can see in this position, Pragnananda has a very good open position, but Magnus has underdeveloped pieces. But at the same time, the bar is showing a slight advantage, that is 0.5 advantage, not a big advantage still. Pragnananda used to play a good moves to convert this advantage to the victory. So Pragnananda develops his knight to f6. Now Magnus goes this point here, and the idea of here is to, already this is in the support, this has to be support. You can't get here or something, till now it's another bent position. What if it gets here, or what if this happens, or let's see what's gonna happen. So Magnus blocking his position again. I don't know why Magnus played this, or he might have really studied this position, but Magnus used this. Maybe he wants to free up the bishop, take up the knight, or whatever. So he did that, and for this, Pragnananda responded with this. Till now, when you really see this game, my dear friends and all the Phoenix family, you guys get to know that till now, Magnus did not completely develop his pieces, and Pragnananda did not make even a one mistake in this entire sequence of moves. So we can say that at this point, till now we have 8 moves, and Pragnananda was strong in his opening and did not make any major flaws yet. So now Magnus plays the move, so which gives a 0.1 extra advantage to the Pragnananda. So now Pragnananda developed his other knight over the board, placing it here. So controlling the squares of this. So Pragnananda has a very good position. And to be honest, so Magnus plays another good move. Now he's actually, the position is neutral as per the system. He kept it here. So why did you think he kept it here? One, you can't hit here because you got to hit it. Once you hit with the queen, we are also hitting with the queen. So that's not the strategy. But what is the strategy is, you can control the center of the board. That's the number one. You can eat the bishop whenever you want. Or 2 knights, when connected in this order, can be a very deadly combination. Or else you can really have this once this is moved. So there are many other alternative options that are along the way. But guys, these are not mature players. These guys are grandmasters and have already studied each and every position that is on the board. For the most part, at least till openings, middle games, end games, this is what they do for a living. So these guys have real knowledge on all these things. So what did Pragnananda do? So as I said, knight can come here. There might be many other possibilities because Pragnananda has moved a move which is blocking any pieces to attack from this point. Alright. So now Magnus want to develop the bishop at this point, not from here. So Magnus opened this Magnus like these positions where he attacks the opponent from the queen side and he really try to strengthen the king side. That is basic. Whenever you see all the Magnus matches, this is the most accurate way he does it. That is, he always try to attack the opponent from the discreetly from the queen side, and at the same time he puts a lot of pressure on his opponent's king side, also protecting his own king. That is one of the good tactics that Magnus have. So opponent said, enough of your knight in the center of the board. It is not really letting some of my pieces to flow freely. So knight has to take, and the knight took the bishop, and then Magnus took the knight, obviously. And then we got the bishop, which is targeting this point. So even if you hit with this is gonna hit, and this is gonna hit, and you're gonna hit with the queen. But that's not it. You can even target this, the connection between the king and the rook, and it's gonna eat the pawn and pawn up. So Pragnananda, without any mistake, has moved this pawn up. And the idea is if this is gonna exchange, he's gonna move it with a knight more often. So, but Magnus made a questionable move at this point and gave a 0.1 lead to Pragnananda. That is, putting his queen on here so that he could protect his king from this attack. So that's what his thought process went like. Alright. So Pragnananda, who has been very prepared in this position, he played one of the very good moves, that is putting bishop on knight. So he does not want knight to escape. So but Magnus has defended his knight. Now Pragnananda has bought rook in connection with the queen. If you look at the structure in the offensive end, we see Pragnananda has a very good offensive scope. Magnus has a defensive offensive scope, but not exactly the strong offense. When you look, a lot of pieces of the Pragnananda are in the really center or the most dominant. Let us say Pragnananda attack range is very higher than Magnus and already have +1 lead against the Magnus. So this is very good advantages to the white position. Now Magnus bought the rook here, which is again a very bad move as per the system calculation. It gave +6, totally 1.6 lead to Pragnananda. Actually his move is, you might think it might be attack on this basically at this point, but you need other attacker to really support it. So Magnus goes, the Pragnananda goes back. And the reason Pragnananda goes back, let's know. So Magnus has moved this and tried to shoot the knight out from the center, because if the knight is in the center, it could be a trouble for the lot of the squares that white is dominated, especially the white squares, this part, and whatever. So Pragnananda has eaten the knight first, alright. So Magnus took it with the bishop, and at this point, when Pragnananda has taken this, already he has 1.7 lead. When the Magnus took it with the bishop, now it gave 2 points extra lead as per engine, 2.1 lead to the Pragnananda. What if he had taken with this? It would have given a 2.2 lead, but it would still continue a very long diagonal attack. But this gave a 2.1 lead to to Pragnananda. Now Pragnananda goes back because he's been attacked with this pawn, threatened with the pawn. So now Magnus tries to collect the pawn from this end. But Pragnananda has put his knight here, defending the pawn. At the same time, there's a queen defending it at the same time simultaneously. What if we take it the queen? We still have this. So he does not want this to defend the pawn. So we see Magnus attacking the opponent's knight. Now you see Pragnananda also have made a little blunder which gave Magnus a slight advantage, which is moving the king from the check. But Magnus took it, he took it. Now Magnus did not focus on taking the pawn. What if he took the piece at this point? It's a very bad move because he could have moved it here. So Magnus did not do that mistake. He first defended this. Now Pragnananda also have a pawn to defend the structure. Now his structure is well settled. Now you see the pawn is coming here on the board. Now what does Magnus do? Magnus did something. Now what does Pragnananda do? Will he take this or sacrifice this? Not at all. He put the knight at the center of the board. Alright. Now this is causing a slight strong position. When you look at the position, it's very strong. Even if we hit this looks. So now Pragnananda wants a trade of queens, but no, Magnus wants the trade of queens, not Pragg. But Pragnananda said, no, I'm in a very better position, you trade yourself. So Magnus took it the pawn and Pragnananda went and have a check. Now what happens if this is a basic rookie mistake? You hit it, you hit it, you hit it, and then this is a check. This is where it's a complete losing match. So now Magnus goes here. Now actually Pragnananda is already in a very good position. Pragnananda is trying to develop his rook to bring it to a more offensive position. So he bought it here. Now he takes the rook with the bishop. And bishop has very little to no activity at this point because it's in a corner. There are not many great moves for the bishop to make, and he thought it's a better to trade. So now Pragnananda hit with the rook. So Magnus has gone back. Now Pragnananda hit this. Now Magnus also hit it with the rook. Now he just came the rook from here. He swung in the rook, but Magnus said, no, 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 I'm not going to put my queen in the trouble. I'm going to defend you with this. But Pragnananda said, okay, I will just protect my rooks with other rook. Magnus takes, which is again another blunder from the Magnus. Now Pragnananda takes it. Magnus should go there. That's the ideal move, but Magnus went. But Pragnananda goes back, which is again an ideal move for Pragnananda. Now Magnus wants a trade of the pawn so that he could open this line and try to have few tactics. Now Magnus said no. Now Pragnananda said no, 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 I won't fall for that. I'm gonna check it. If it moves here, 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 I'm gonna pin this with the help of the rook and this one again. Magnus realized and Magnus thought this is a better square, which is another blunder. Now Pragnananda goes for the 7th rank, not exactly the 8th rank check, or again trying to come back here. Alright, if we come here, again it's but what if Pragnananda is 7th rank, which is a great move. Now Magnus takes it, which is okay. Now Pragnananda says, okay, I should be away from the check so that the stalemates can happen at any point. Magnus, if he's losing, he knows how to do stalemate patterns. So Pragnananda goes on the top. Now Magnus said it's okay. Alright, so Magnus, so this is the move. He is trying this combination. Anyway, queen if comes here, it might be one. But Magnus said, okay, this is a mate, if you see. So Magnus sees it and Magnus tries to block it right now. Now Pragnananda takes it with this. Alright. Now, no matter what you do, it's gonna be a mate. If he's trying to defend it back, it's gonna be a check and then it's still gonna be a mate. Whatever he does, the game is a lost game. Pragnananda is in a lead. So this is how Pragnananda destroyed Magnus today. And just see the young talents that are coming these days. It's a very high skill level. So this is the game coverage, how Pragnananda defeated Magnus in the Norway chess. And in the starting of the Norway chess, Magnus said something that I'm going to win the tournament. So let's see if the Magnus wins. Right now Pragnananda is in the lead and let's hope the best man wins. This is the coverage of Magnus Carlsen versus Pragnananda on the Phoenix channel. For more amazing chess content on whatever the person you are, I have content for everything: modeling, fashion, studies, education, whatever it might be. Subscribe to the channel so that in future you don't have to go to 100 channels for all the information on whatever things you need, even the music. You can get a lot of stuff in this pretty own channel. Thank you, chess guys. And I have a music for the people who play chess. It's in my NCS playlist, and you can check it out now. And there are chess videos. I will put it on the end. So thank you guys for your support and everything. Signing off. Jay.